welcome to English Tutorial Edu. This is Sumita and today we shall be learning about transitive and intransitive verb. So verbs can be divided into finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs can further be divided into transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Today we shall be learning about transitive and intransitive verbs. What are finite verbs? Finite verbs are those verbs that change with subject and tense, like he plays, they play. He played, he plays. So they are changing with subject as well as tense. So they are finite verbs. Then non-finite verbs can be divided into gerunds or verbal nouns, like playing, I like playing. So here playing is a gerund, a noun, acting as a noun. Then infinitives, I like to play. To play is infinitive. It will not change with either subject or verb. And then participles, which we can use for describing something, that is a running tap, okay, or a broken cup. So participles can be divided into past participle and present participle. Finite verbs we know can be divided into transitive and intransitive verbs. So first we shall be learning about transitive verbs. A transitive verb is a word that denotes an action which passes from the subject to the object. These verbs cannot complete their meaning without the object and can be used in active as well as passive voice. So there is a subject and there is an object, and we can use it in active voice as well as passive voice. Like in this example, Nike flew a kite. Rosie recited a poem. In the first example, the action is transferred or passed from Nike to the kite, whereas in the second example, the action is transferred from Rosie to the poem. From Nike to the kite, from Rosie to the poem. The words flew and recited are transitive verbs. Therefore, a verb that requires an object to complete its meaning is called a transitive verb. Now let us read these sentences. So here's mother telling, here's your cake, Rooney. Mother gave Rooney a cake. I bought a gift for Simran. In these sentences, the highlighted transitive verbs have two objects, direct and indirect, after them. The doers are mother and I. So what the people doing the things? Mother and I. The direct objects are cake and gift. Mother gave what? A cake. I bought what? Gift. The indirect objects are Rooney and Simran. So gave to whom? Rooney. Gift for whom? For Simran. So indirect objects usually comes before the direct objects, but it can also come after the direct object. Here, mother gave Rooney a cake. Usually we see that the indirect object comes before the direct object, but we can also write mother gave a cake to Rooney. Here we have put the direct object before the indirect object. So both ways are possible. Now how to identify the direct and indirect object? The direct object can be identified by asking the question what after the verb. Indirect object can be identified by asking to, for, whom after the verb. Like Nisha gave me a pen. Here, the pen is the direct object. It answers the question gave what. Nisha gave what? A pen. So if it is answering the question what, it is the direct object. Here me is the indirect object. It answers the question gave whom. So Nisha gave whom? Me a pen. The verbs give, ask, offer, promise and tell take two objects, indirect and direct object. So give what, ask what, offer what, promise what, tell what, to whom. So it will have to have two objects, one direct and indirect. Now we shall be learning about intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs are verbs which can complete their meaning without an object. So transitive verbs need an object. Intransitive verbs can complete their meaning without an object. These are used only in active voice and may take a complement. Like Mary laughed. The garden looks beautiful. John is sad. The minister looked angry. The actions expressed by these subjects stop with them. The last three examples, the words beautiful, sad, and angry, help to complete the predicate and are called complements. So now we shall know how to identify the complements. Now let us see in these sentences. Ron sings loudly. Birds fly in the sky. The teacher came after a few minutes. In these sentences, there is no object, so the verbs have been used intransitively. The highlighted words are not objects, but words that answer the questions how, where, and when. So if the words tell how the action is done, or where the action is done, or when the action is done, then they are complements. They help in completing the sentence and are called complements. Now we shall be learning about intransitive verbs of complete predication. Intransitive verbs that makes complete sense on its own are called verbs of complete predication. They sleep, so it makes complete sense. Monkeys chatter, the baby cries, the children read. The verbs come, go, fall, die, sleep, and lie are intransitive verbs of complete predication, as these actions cannot be done to anything, so they cannot be an object and hence cannot be used transitively. Then there are intransitive verbs of incomplete predication. Now look at these sentences. The woman appears, Arohi looks, the man sees, Ashoka became, the girls went. These sentences are incomplete in their sense and need some complements to complete their meaning. Such intransitive verbs are called verbs of incomplete predication. The woman appears happy. Arohi looks cheerful. The man seems worried. Ashoka became unhappy. The girls went to the market. So these are all complements which makes these verbs of incomplete predication complete. So complements can be subjective or objective. So if the complement is telling us something about the subject, it is a subjective complement. Like here, the apple is red, so it is telling about the subject apple. Honey tastes sweet, telling about the honey, which is the subject. The book is interesting, telling about the book. His father seems angry, telling about the father. Okay, so these are all talking about the subject and hence are called subjective complements. Then there can be objective complements. Sentence, teacher called the student intelligent. Here intelligent is telling us something about the student. He named his cat Meowth. Here Meowth is telling us something about the object cat. She called her friend a liar. Liar is telling about the object her friend. The judge declared the case closed. Here closed is telling us something about the case. So these are all objective complements. So some verbs can be used both transitively and intransitively. For example, Paul opened the door. Opened what? The door. The door opened. So here the first sentence it is transitive, second one intransitive. Children play what? Chess. So here it is transitive verb. The children play in the evening. When? So here it is intransitive verb. She sings classical songs. What classical songs? She sings melodiously. So how does she sing melodiously? So here it is intransitive. Mike flew a kite. Flew what? A kite. So transitive. Birds flew into the woods. Where? So it is intransitive. Now we shall do some practice and recall what we have learned. Identify the verbs in these sentences and state whether they are transitive or intransitive. The boy gave me the key to the house. So is this transitive or intransitive? He spoke loud and clear. The girl watered the plants. Mary picked up the lamp. The train stopped suddenly. It drizzled last night. The driver stopped the train. So, did you get the answers? Now let us see the answers. The boy gave me the key to the house. Gave what? Key. So it is transitive. Spoke loud and clear. How? So it is intransitive. Watered what? Transitive. Picked up the lamp. What? So transitive. Train stopped how? So suddenly it is intransitive. Drizzled last night. When? So it is intransitive. Driver stopped the train. So it stopped what? It is transitive. So I hope you liked the video and learned something from it. If you have some queries, please put it in the comment box and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to press the like. Thanks for watching.